She was a cold-hearted executive bitch. May I say that on your show? I'm not sure.
Dieser Ort ist nicht, was ihr denkt.
I would like to know, what do you think makes this new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie stand out in comparison to the previous movies? And how would you describe what fans can expect from this first movie of Phase 5?
Ooh, what you can expect from the first movie of Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Well, compared to our previous films, the scope of this film is 10 times more enormous.
Even though the stakes are big in the other two films, it feels bigger in this because of Kang the Conqueror.
It's an ambitious film. It's big, it's sweeping, it's epic.
You're gonna see very familiar heroes do things that are even more extraordinary than you've seen before. Primarily because they're coming up against a threat that is extraordinarily, uniquely powerful in that of Kang the Conqueror.
You know, this introduction of Kang the Conqueror is a big deal. As Marvel fans know, he's a very important villain in Marvel history.
The consequences of what we do, what Ant-Man and the Wasp can or cannot do in the face of Kang the Conqueror, will affect the multiverse for all time.
Ein geheimes Universum, das unter unserem liegt.
Wovor hast du solche Angst?
Hope's mother was trapped in the quantum realm, and how do you think does Hope feel now that she's being sucked into it as well and experience it herself?
I don't think Hope has time to feel when they start getting sucked into the quantum realm. She can only think and act, which is what Hope's very good at. And she does, and she makes a choice, and she dives in after her parents. But once she's in the quantum realm, that's when it all catches up with her, and she starts to feel the conflicting emotions of, one, this is what I have dreamed about and studied my entire adult life, and now I actually get to see it and witness it for myself. But two, my mother told me there was nothing down here. She's been lying to me since she got back from the quantum realm. She's been keeping secrets from me, and that's painful. And that makes me angry. And so there's all these conflicting emotions when she finally comes to her nervous system equalizing after the intensity of being sucked down there.
Wer bist du? Ich bin derjenige, der dir das geben kann, was du willst. Und was? Zeit.
How do you think have Scott's feelings about being a superhero changed since the first Ant-Man movie, and is he ready to face this new big villain?
He's accepted it. At first, I don't think he really wanted anything to do with it. I think he's always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with it because he just kind of wanted to be a dad. But I think that he's proud of what he's accomplished with the rest of the Avengers and that they've, defeated Thanos. But I think he's also at peace with it because I think he feels as if it's mostly in the rearview mirror. We start this movie and he's learned a thing or two. In particular, he's learned how to value time. And he now gets to spend time with his daughter, which is really all he's wanted to do. It doesn't last long. So I think, he has to go up against Kang. It's nothing that I think he wanted to do.
Man kann ihm nicht trauen.
Mir ist egal, wer dieser Typ ist. Ich habe so viel verloren. Er kann uns helfen, eine zweite Chance zu bekommen.
Are you excited to play multiple variants of the same character, but very different versions of him in the future, maybe?
Well, when I was playing He Who Remains and I knew Kang was coming, I was very excited about that. I look forward to what we're going to do with Kang Dynasty, and it's anybody's guess who shows up in that. There'll be some Kang something in there, but what it is and who it is, I anxiously anticipate it.
Ich kann euch nach Hause bringen. Und euch mehr Zeit verschaffen. Wenn du mir hilfst.
Do you think that Hope has evolved as a character, and if so, how?
I think Hope has evolved profoundly. I mean, maybe she's evolved more than almost anybody in the MCU. The massive change in 2 films, which is like, what, 4 hours of entertainment, between the first film where she was a cold-hearted executive bitch. May I say that on your show? I'm not sure. To now 2 films later, at the beginning of the 3rd film, at the beginning of Quantumania, she's repaired her relationship with her father. She's gotten her mother back from the quantum realm. She's fallen in love with Scott Lang. She's become a stepmom to Cassie Lang, and she's founded her own company so that all of that love that she's filled up with can pour out into the world and, you know, make the world a better place. She's in the most beautiful place that she could be from, you know, a very sort of sad beginning.
Also, wie sieht es aus? Ant-Man.
We heard that they tried to make the filming more realistic with real dirt, but it turned out to be manure. How did you experience the situation on set and the filming process in general?
Well, you know, because the whole environment was so crazy looking, most of it we had to imagine. We were shooting in front of a blue screen, but they do bring in kind of as much practical stuff as possible, and that includes a dirt floor. And this one soundstage that we were filming on, they got a deal or something on the dirt, and then we realized why. It became so horrendous to be in there that eventually we had to kind of order a lot of new dirt, and yeah, it was awful. We also had about 100 or so extras that were working, and so a lot of people had to suffer for a while.
Ich werde es dir leicht machen. Du bringst mir, was ich brauche. Oder alles, was du Leben nennst, wird enden.
As you said, you play Kang the Conqueror in this movie. I would like to know, what was the biggest challenge and what did you enjoy most about portraying this character?
There's just so much information about him. And so it was a big challenge to, you know, take in all the comic book material, or as much as I possibly could, which is an ongoing thing. But also to, I guess it would be concentrate all of it into this handshake of Kang the Conqueror. It's the first time we're seeing him. So that was a bit of a matrix, you know. He's a big character, he's got big energy. The characterization of him is, I think, is, for me, in my process, was so sophisticated that I felt it was complex and perhaps difficult, but ultimately we got there.
Du willst nicht, dass sie das sieht.
Wir hatten einen Deal.
Du dachtest, du gewinnst.
Ich muss nicht gewinnen. Wir müssen nur beide verlieren.